I am 98 years old, and I need you to hear something that no one is going to tell you at your next team meeting. No one is going to put this on a motivational poster. No one is going to mention this in your performance review. So I am going to say it, because I have nothing left to lose, and you have everything left to save. Your boss will not remember your name in 6 months.
I was cleaning out my dresser this morning. The top drawer sticks, it always has. You have to lift it a little and pull sideways. My hands don't work the way they used to, so it took me a while. And when I finally got it open, there it was, sitting between a pair of dusty cufflinks I haven't worn in 20 years and a stack of expired grocery coupons. A faded employee ID card on a frayed blue lanyard, the kind they give you on your first day, the kind you clip to your shirt like it means something. I picked it up and held it under the lamp on my nightstand. The photo on that card shows a young man, sharp eyes, strong jaw, hair still dark, a look on his face like he was about to conquer the world. I stared at that photo for a long time. I barely recognized him. But his name was right there, printed in block letters underneath that confident little face. The same name I gave 41 years of my life to. A company that doesn't even exist anymore. I want to tell you what that name cost me. I started in 1972. I was 26, hungry, determined. I wore that lanyard around my neck like a soldier wears dog tags. I was proud of it. That little rectangle of plastic told the world I belonged somewhere. It told me I mattered.
I was the first one in the building every morning. 5:45, the parking lot still dark. I liked the sound of my shoes on the empty hallway floor. I liked being the one who turned the lights on. I liked knowing that my boss would walk in at 8 and see me already there, already working, already proving myself. And I would stay. Lord, I would stay. 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock. The fluorescent lights would hum above my head, that low electrical buzz that gets inside your skull and stays there. The coffee in the break room would be burnt to tar by that hour. I'd drink it anyway. And I'd sit at my desk and I'd think, this is what it takes. This is what a man does. He provides.
That was the lie. I believed that if I gave the company everything, everything else would take care of itself. My wife, my kids, my life outside those walls. I told myself they understood. I told myself they were proud of me. I told myself the sacrifice was temporary, that one day the work would pay off, and I'd have all the time in the world to make it up to them. Here is what was actually happening in my house while I was making the company rich. My wife would make dinner for the kids at 6. She'd set a place for me at the table every night, a plate, a glass of water, a napkin folded the way she always folded them. And every night that plate went untouched. After a while, she stopped setting it. I didn't even notice. She didn't tell me she stopped, and I never asked. That is how wide the distance had gotten. An entire place setting disappeared from the table, and neither one of us said a word about it.
My youngest daughter, Elizabeth, she used to draw pictures for me. Little crayon drawings of our family, the house, the dog, a big yellow sun in the corner. She'd tape them to the refrigerator and wait for me to come home and see them. I know this because my wife told me, years later.
By the time I'd get home, Elizabeth was already asleep. And after a while, the drawings stopped showing up on the refrigerator. I never noticed that either. I was too busy noticing quarterly reports. My son played baseball. I made it to one game. One. He hit a double, and I wasn't there to see it. He told me about it at breakfast the next morning, and I was reading the paper. I said, "That's great, buddy." I didn't look up. He was 9. He stopped telling me things after that. Why would he? I taught him that his stories didn't matter. I taught him that with a newspaper and 3 words.
And the whole time, I thought I was doing the right thing. I called it providing. I called it discipline. I called it building something. But I wasn't building anything at home. I was just disappearing. Slowly, quietly, like a photo left in the sun too long. The house got quieter, year by year, but I never heard it, because the office was always so loud.
Now let me tell you about my last day. 41 years. That is what I gave them. 41 years of early mornings and late nights and missed dinners and skipped vacations. 41 years of wearing that lanyard like it was stitched to my chest. My last day was a Thursday. I remember that because I thought it would be a Friday. I thought there would be some kind of ceremony, a cake in the conference room, maybe a plaque, maybe a few handshakes. I had seen them do it for other people, a little send-off, a little recognition. 41 years. Surely that earns you a goodbye. There was no cake. There was no plaque. There were no handshakes.
I packed my desk into a single cardboard box, a stapler, a mug with a chipped handle that said, "World's Best Dad," and that is an irony so sharp it still cuts me. A framed photo of my kids when they were small. They were smiling in the photo, looking at the camera, like they still believed in something. I don't know who took that picture. It wasn't me.
The hallway smelled the way it always smelled. Floor polish and recycled air. That cold, clean, institutional nothing smell. I walked toward the elevator, carrying my little box, and no one stopped me. No one came out of their office. No one said, "Hey, we're going to miss you." The security guard held the elevator door open. He didn't look at me. He looked at his phone. I got to the front turnstile, and I swiped my badge for the last time. It beeped, one short, flat beep. the same sound it had made every morning for 41 years, but this time it sounded different. It sounded final. It sounded like a heart monitor going flat. And then I was outside, standing in the parking lot, holding a cardboard box. The sun was going down, the air was cold, and no one, not a single person, walked me to the door. I sat in my car for a long time. I don't know how long. The box was on the passenger seat. The badge was still clipped to my shirt. I could feel it against my chest, that little rectangle of plastic with my name and my photo and a barcode. A barcode. That's what I was to them. Something to scan.
I drove home, and I sat at the kitchen table, and I called my daughter, Elizabeth. She was 38 by then. She picked up on the fourth ring. I told her I had retired. There was a pause. A long pause. I could hear her breathing on the other end of the line.
And then she said something I will hear for the rest of whatever time I have left. She said, "Dad, I stopped asking you to come home when I was 11. She didn't say it with anger. That is what destroyed me. She said it softly, matter of fact, like she was reading a weather report, like it was just a thing that happened a long time ago, and she had already finished grieving it. The grief was done. There was nothing left to feel. And that is so much worse than anger. Anger means someone still cares. Her voice had no anger in it at all."
I opened my mouth to say something. I don't know what. And she said, "I have to go, Dad. I'm glad you're retired. You should rest." And she hung up, gently. No slam, just a quiet click, and then the hum of a dead phone line. I sat at that kitchen table, holding the phone in one hand. The badge was still clipped to my shirt. I looked down at it. That young man's face staring up at me, those sharp eyes, that proud jaw. I wanted to reach into that photo and shake him. I wanted to scream at him. I wanted to say, go home right now. She's drawing you a picture. He hit a double. Your wife set you a place at the table. Go home, you fool." But you can't scream at a photograph, and you can't go back.
That was 30-some years ago. My wife passed in 2009. We had good years at the end, but not enough of them. Never enough.
Now I live in a small apartment. It is very clean. It is the kind of clean that happens when a person has too much time and not enough people. One plate in the dish rack, one fork, one glass. I eat dinner at the same table every night, and the only sound is the clink of that single fork against that single plate.
The badge sits on my dresser now. I propped it against the lamp after I found it this morning. That frayed blue lanyard draped over the side like a dead vine. I looked up my old company last year. They were acquired in '94, then dissolved. Then the name was sold to some holding group that turned around and rebranded the whole thing. The building where I spent 41 years of my life is a yoga studio now. A yoga studio. They teach hot yoga in the room where I used to run budget meetings.
The man who replaced me after I retired, he lasted a week. 1 week. Then they restructured the department and eliminated the position entirely. 41 years of my life poured into a role they deleted like a typo. My children call me on holidays, Christmas, my birthday sometimes. The calls are polite. They are brief. They ask how I'm feeling. I say fine. They say good. And then someone says, well, I should let you go. And that phrase has never sounded more honest. They let me go a long time ago. I'm the one who taught them how.
That badge photo still grins at me from across the room. I do not grin back.
Now I'm going to talk to you. Yes, you. The one watching this right now. The one with the phone in your hand. The one who's going to close this video and check your work email. Don't you dare. Not yet.